In the last two videos, I spoke about the beginnings of my educational journey. I've been through so many downturns, and I've watched my account just get decimated periodically. I believed my stockbroker had my best interest at heart, so I was taking every recommendation he made for over 30 years. It was the .com fiasco that I finally said, "Stop this insanity." And I made the decision to do trading on my own. I thought I could do at least as well as the stockbroker did with my money, and time has proven me right. Sometime in 2011, I called him and I asked why he didn't handle my account like I was currently trading. At the time, I was making well over 100% returns each and every year, and I'll always remember his words. I don't have enough hours in the day to pay that much attention to everybody's account. If I did, then I wouldn't have the energy or time to cultivate new clients. Guys, it was at that moment I realized the man I had called a friend for over 30 years and had counted on to safeguard my monies was nothing more than a great salesman. Now, I'm grateful I came to my senses. And I know many of you are in the same spot as I was. What do you do? Who do you listen to? What advice do you take and implement? So let's return to some of the first conferences I attended after firing my broker. I was watching that instructor fly through stock tickers and stock charts, showing us how to find good positions to trade. Listening to him, I thought, I wish he'd just give us his watch list. I could use somebody to tell me what to trade. Sounds like I was yearning for my stockbroker again. I even expressed that wish to the instructor by asking if he could share his watch list with us. And I'll never forget what he said. If I just told you what to trade, I would be doing you a disservice. I'm teaching you how to find the right trades for yourself. That same lesson was reinforced years later in a speech where a man speaking concluded his talk by saying, in the trading world and in life in general, listen to everyone, but in the end, listen to nobody but yourself. I am so grateful to all the folks who guided me along my journey to become a great thinking trader. Now I feel privileged to pass on some of the wisdom and insights that I've garnered over the years. Here's just one of the many ways I ferret out a good ticker to trade. It's worked well for me time and time again. To start every week, I measure the money flowing in and out of the sector's ETFs. There are 11 of them out there. Finding this flow of money is fairly simple and a technique you learn in Investing Buddies. I use Investors Business Daily's website. It is a site you have to pay for, guys, but it's not that expensive, and frankly, it's worth every penny because of all the data you can glean every day. Here's the Excel sheet I prepare on Saturdays just to measure the sectors getting stronger and the sectors getting weaker. If you see a sector starting to take off, that's where you should focus on your search for new tickers to trade. There are many sites you can search for by tickers and by sectors. The criteria is important though. Here's the criteria I use for my search. The stock price has to be a minimum of $20 a share. Why? Because institutions, that means pension funds, banks, mutual funds, typically they don't trade cheap stocks. They look for prices over $15 a share to trade. The second criteria is minimum volume, traded over 2 million shares a day on a ticker. I want to see a lot of activity for two reasons. High liquidity makes it easier to get in and out of positions. If you were trading options, it's especially important because the spread between the bid and ask price is really critical to your trades. Of course, anything I trade must have weekly options available. The fourth criteria is kind of subjective. I used to trade stocks from all kinds of countries. These days, I tend to look at companies in the US and Canada only. I've been burned pretty bad by a few Chinese companies in the past couple of years. Once I come up with a good list of possible stocks by sector, I further sort them to see if there's an industry that's looking especially good. Guys, having a strong stock in a strong industry, in a strong sector, can make all the difference between a wildly successful trade, a so-so trade, or a losing trade. what we're doing is a kind of a gambling, so why not stack all the odds in your favor? Of course, in our training, we go into a lot more detail on our search criteria, but this information is going to get you started. So guys, check us out. There's a free trial subscription for investing buddies you can get just by clicking the button below. We are also opening up our data series for those of you that don't want to wait to the start of the next season in January. Data is a class where we double our account every 10 weeks. Get the details by clicking the data button below, and thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.